Hey yo, what's up? And today we're going to be running through Windsward. This is our second video in the series, getting you through the levels 1 through 9 and beyond for each individual territory that you start in New World. So if you are brand new to New World, the first time on the shores of Aeternum, this is the video for you, getting your feet wet, getting you into some of those starting areas, making sure you know what to do. If you have enjoyed this series so far, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. We've got more starting zones coming to you soon, but let's jump into Windsward right now. All right, so once you land on the beach of Windsward, you're gonna make your way up to the lighthouse here or the watch house, and you're gonna find your first quest, which will give you something to do. So let's talk to him. We're gonna get some information about the evil and the corrupted. After that, you're gonna look behind him. There's actually a note here. Look at that, 1 out of 4 for the area at the moment. You've also got a supply crate. It's a great spot to get some cartridges as you got there, as well as arrows and some other stuff that'll drop from it. In the middle here, we do have a campfire where you can craft stuff. So as you are going around, doing your missions, make sure to pick up a ton of flint. You'll need it in, a few missions down the line. As well, you will find that some bushes around here are able to be picked up. Make sure to grab those. And on top of that, kill some boars, and once you're through the first 2 missions, you can use that campfire, or 3 missions, you can use that campfire. Craft yourself a skinning knife, as we've got here, and it's a flint version, so lowest tier, but kill the boar, skin the boar, you'll get a pelt and some meat. You can actually use, again, the meat for that raw energy and HP. So we'll eat that up. You see that buff go on, and most people don't pay attention to this stuff, so that's why I'm talking about it. You got that 1% of health every 2.5 seconds, so it helps out over time. Obviously, if you're not paying attention to it, it will keep your health up when you don't expect it. So keep that going. Again, gather that flint as much as possible. You'll need it for all of those skinning and gathering tools. And then you'll come over here, you'll kill these guys, and let's see what we can find in the ships. So usually in the ships, you'll have, a couple casts or little caskets that you can pick up. So like this guy right here, we'll kill this guy first. He's got that supply crate. You can get some flux, which is good for your smithing, as well as some arrows. So good spot to gather your materials there. We got another page, 1 of 2 for this area, and a supply crate as well. So you see this is a herb. When you gather the herb, you get that hyssop as well as some ginger. So each territory has its own table for all of those cooking materials that you usually cannot find without gathering that herb. So make sure you're gathering these herbs, making sure you're finding, okay, we've already got thyme, we've already got, hyssop, as well as, what was the other one that we got? Ginger. So a lot of the areas have all different types. You'll be able to find those on some other guide sites. Going forward, you're just killing things in the area, running back to the guy, turning in your quests, making sure that you're gathering that flint, gathering those bushes for some greenwood, because you'll need that as an item. As well, if there is, fresh water, you can actually gain water. So water is a great resource to make potions with. So on top of that, you can actually reduce your weight if you have a bunch of water or any other consumable by just putting it in your taskbar. So, if you have some material or, cooking stuff that you haven't been using recently, anything with a square, you should be able to put it on the bar. So making sure that you're doing that, it's really, really helpful, especially if you are running out of some areas that, you've gathered a bunch of stuff. It's great to reduce your weight, especially when gathering. So let's head into this little cave over here. Let's see what we can find. Looks like we've actually found ourselves a life bloom plant. So if you do have a sickle, you can actually gather this guy up. This will give you a life bloom stem as well as some life motes. So we got some life motes. Oh, and we got a life bloom leaf. So that is the tier 3 version of the life material. So you can use that for the potions. So tier 3 potions, you can use that. Outside of that, let's head up into the forest, gather all the trees that you can. See, here's some bushes here. Make sure you grab these. It's a great first entry into crafting. So let's do that as well. Kill those boars and let's get into the next part. As well as collecting that flint, make sure you gather some stone. It's always good to have on you to make sure that you get that stone crafting up. Stone crafting helps with creating orbs for expeditions. As well, you can actually gather gems from mining and those expeditions that you run. So utilizing that to cut those gems, cut the stone, make those orbs for expeditions as well as arenas at any tier. So make sure you get it up, and yeah, that's how you do it. Let's kill this boar. We can also read that for some XP and gather that provision crate. Let's do it. So we make our way up the hill and towards the Windward settlement. You know, we'll find a bunch of trees, a bunch of spots to grab some tree nuts. As well, you'll find some turkeys, which will give you the feathers for arrows. So you can go ahead and gather all these if you want to. Woodcutting takes a little bit longer than people would expect, so might as well start early, right? Now, when you enter Windsward, you've got a few things here for you to check out. So first off, we'll go into some of these icons here. So you've got the workshop, you've got the tannery, you've got storage here on the left and right, as well as in the north. On top of that, we have got the smelter, the kitchen, the wood shop, and also the trading post. So the trading post, you can buy and sell items to players and with players. So post your stuff there. If you've got something of interest for yourself that you don't want to actually use, put it up there. People will definitely buy it. As well, we've got factions. So we've got 3 factions: purple, gold, and green, Marauders, Covenant, and Syndicate. So if you're not paying attention to the story too much, you will have a point where you have to pick a faction around level 8 or 9. You should be about that when you get to here. So make sure to talk to these guys and grab your faction once you can. They do, describe a little bit of what they are into and of the backstory on why they exist. So if you do want to make that decision based on their beliefs and demeanor, go ahead and pick your best faction that you think you would align with. So the 3 main differences that go into picking your faction come down to the armor and what it looks like, the weapons and what perks at a higher rank you can actually get. Some actually benefit you in DPS versus some other playstyles, so definitely check that out before picking. The last and biggest thing that I think goes into faction picks is the dependency on travel. So travel between settlements is dependent on Azoth. Now, if you own specific territories, this actually gives you a reduction in Azoth costs, so you will not need to worry about it. Now, if you are on a lower population faction in your server, this will definitely hinder your fast travel rate and how you can get from place to place, as well as in wars, you will have a harder time actually owning those settlements, getting above those other factions. So definitely pay attention to that. If you want to look into it, definitely check out New World Fans. They have a company section that you can actually look into which company and faction will own a server. Some actually have not posted, but some actually have. So definitely check that out if you are not trying to spend more time in Aeternum running around from settlement to settlement. On top of that, we've got town projects. They're really, really good to, gather. If you are gathering materials and trying to level, they're awesome for, continuing your skilling career and also upgrading your town. So once a faction owns a town, They then can go to the territory planning board, set up what they need, and upgrade through the town board. So make sure to check out the town project board in every single settlement. You will definitely want to do these. Now, if you find a faction that is owning a specific town that you want to do town boards in, understand the upgrade process, right? You don't want to be upgrading towns that you may be in conflict with. If you want to own them, don't try to do their town boards, because you will be progressing their defenses of their forts for you to attack. So, if they're going for a tier 2 or a tier 3 turret, maybe you don't want to help them out with doing that town board. So keep an eye on that. Obviously, upgrade all of your workstations and workshops. This will help any sort of crafting that you yourself and everyone else wants to do. So keep that in mind. If you are owning a settlement, it is good to do and manage correctly. There is a point where, that upgrade gets done. Make sure to be on point, set the next upgrade so that everyone in town can get that up as fast as possible. It helps the entire server. On top of that, you've got the governor's desk, so you can do anything from taxes to paying upkeeps and everything else. You obviously gain tax through crafting stations as well as the trade post. So any trading that goes on, you are able to set a specific fee for that. Let's go into that a little bit. And you've got that there. So we see that all the taxes are here. They're extreme. So Covenant is wanting all that money. We're greedy. And that's it. So I hope you enjoyed our journey through Windsward today. That is your levels 1 through 9, getting you into Aeternum, getting your feet wet, getting you into some of the story missions, some of the materials, some of those hiding spots, just a little taste, and into the settlement of Windsward. Again, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. I really want to get your feedback on this video and any video that you guys have watched. It helps me out a ton, and I am sort of a perfectionist with this stuff. So appreciate all the feedback previously, and hopefully this helps you going into open beta as well as launch. As we did for First Light, we'll actually be running through the rest of Windsward after you're level 9. What else can you do in Windsward to make this one of the best zones for you to start in? So click the link on the screen now to get more information and get ahead of the pack at launch and in open beta. And as always, have a good rest of your day, guys. Peace.